I'll just show you how this is hooked up. The code's pretty straightforward. It's only got 3 scripts to it. Player health, pick up scriptable object, and pick up. So the player health, it's got some variables. The setup, it just initializes the hit and heal overlays, sets your health, and then gets the player teleport, which is used when you respawn. It puts you back at the start location. This is just for testing. If you press the K key, it'll hurt yourself, so you don't have to have an enemy hitting you. Uh, if you're respawning, it runs a timer, which is just a short delay before resetting your position and then fading the overlay out so you can see again. Damage methods. This is whenever you're hit by the enemy, which you can hook up in your other code, or when you run over a trap, or hit an object like rotten food or something um, that you want them to take damage from some floating. I don't know. This just checks if it's already doing a fade. It'll cancel it so that it doesn't double up. Just plays a hit sound. You can look in audio for how that works. Uh, just starts the overlay. And then that updates the health bar UI. And yeah, so those are straightforward. And health methods, almost identical to the damage. And then those are just the fade methods. And then when you respawn, it does that stuff. For the pickup, it takes in a scriptable object. It sets the heal amount and damage amount that you set in there. And then when you run over whatever it is, it checks if it's the player and it gets the health component. Then it checks what type of pickup it is. If it's a trap, it'll just apply the damage. If it's a damage type, it'll apply the damage and then destroy the object. So it's, if something's floating in the air, like something bad, you can have it be like a one-use damage. And then if it's type heal, triggers heal. If you don't have max health, then it'll heal you, then destroy. If you do have max health, it won't do anything, so you can like come back and use it later. Um, and then these would kind of like the heal would be a drop off the enemy, which I think Emerald AI has a section where you can drag stuff in when they die. So it'll do that. You can maybe if you break a barrel or something, it could spawn something good or bad, kind of like an old Gauntlet Legends game. Um, but that is that. And then the scriptable object, put in heal amount, damage amount, and the type. How it's set up. Here are the scriptable objects. Just right click, create, health system test, pick up SO. Like for a trap, type is trap, damage amount, like rotten food, damage, damage amount, potion, heal, heal amount. Then in pickups, you have your pickup script. And then this is just your parent pickup object, which has a trigger box collider and your pickup script. And then you would make a prefab variant and you'd create whatever you want. So like a health potion, you just have that with the box collider, and then you drag in the scriptable object for health. Visual, you'll drag in whatever you want, whether you have like a food item or a potion floating in the air. And because when it spawns in, I don't want it to spawn in on the ground, so I just made sure the visual is above the ground a bit, and then I made sure that the box collider matches that, so I just moved them both up by 1. So you can see that even though the parent here is at 0, it's actually floating. And so I just did the same thing with food. And then the trap actually is on the ground. And so I just threw a material on each one. Alright, and then the player health just goes on the player controller. Start position I put in just in the scene, and you drag it into the start position here. You set the starting health. The player HUD is located under advanced rig, character controller, camera, tracking, center eye. And then you'll drag in the player HUD object there, which just has the two overlays and then the health bar. And so you drag in the health bar spot, you'd have your respawn time, you drag in the overlays, and then you have your delays, your fade in, then your audio source, and then your sound arrays. And that's all there is to it. I put them all in a namespace, so you can either use it as a using statement or just move them into your own. I just put it this way so that it doesn't conflict with anything you already have. And then a test of it. Come in here. You have your health here. Over here, take your damage. Does its red flash. Heal, green flash. If you're already on full health, doesn't do anything and it stays there. If you get something bad, does some damage and disappears. And then when you heal, it stops at your max health. That's pretty much it. If you run over the trap twice and you die, just waits and then it respawns you back here. For the respawn, I did put in an offset of 2 so that you're kind of up in the air a little bit when you respawn so you don't go through the floor. And then the start position, I also put 1 above wherever the player. So if the player is at 1, then that's going to be right in that same area.